kind of situation, whether it's television, film, comic books, any genre of media, you need to be able to go in depth within a story, and the only way to get that way is to utilize characters.
We have to be able to identify with characters in any type of story. We have to be able to empathize with them. We have to be able to lust after them. We have to be able to fear them. We have to be able to loathe them. We have to be able to feel compassion for them. So characters are incredibly important because they are what keeps us, the reader or the viewer, involved in what's going on.
Especially in the Borderhounds, there's so many different things going on, so many different dynamics between the different characters. I really feel that, it's important that each one is different and can identify with the actual reader or the viewer. Detective Altar is a completely different character, in my opinion. I don't think it's really been done much in the comic book world.
Conceptually, I always kind of refer to him as, what if Dirty Harry had a kid with Sherlock Holmes? He's a brilliant detective, he's a great cop, and he's not afraid to skirt the law, bend the law, get, so close to breaking the law, to achieve justice.
He is an American Muslim detective, works for the NYPD.
Which I don't think has ever been done. And because he is a Muslim in a post-9/11 society, he's had to endure a lot of things. Even though he is an American, he was born and raised in Queens, he's an American first, he is a Muslim, and he has to face a lot of hatred and a lot of racism because of his faith.
He is a good detective, will go above and beyond to actually get the job done, and he has to work, just like Brim, 5 times harder, 10 times harder, just to prove himself.
He is a regular guy in the middle of all these irregular things happening to him, and he's trying to understand that, and he's trying to understand his life. And he has to face a lot of hatred. He has to face a lot of stereotypes, and because of that, he's very much alone in what he does, and he's very much a loner because he's been put into that position, which I think really kind of makes him have a lot in common with Brimstone.
It's something very different. It's a dynamic that you guys will actually see as the story unfolds.
As the comic book progresses, you're going to find out a lot more about the character's story. And you're going to find out a lot of things about Detective Altar. You're going to see how and why he became who he is. And you're going to also see why he's so important to the Borderhounds universe. Mr. Hostile is, as I like to say, all those dark thoughts that you have in the back of your head that you think about when you're sitting home alone and the power goes out and you're sitting alone at your desk at work thinking about your boss. All those little dark, deep, evil thoughts that creep into your head for like a split second, he's the embodiment of those thoughts.
He's very dark, very scary, very bloody. The guy goes absolutely apecrap anytime he has the opportunity, because in the Earth realm, in our reality, he is a psycho.
He is nuts, and he is crazy, and he is vicious, and he is evil here in our world. But in hell, he's actually a really nice and decent guy. And it's really cool to play that dynamic because he is he cannot comprehend our reality. That's why he's insane. But because of his insanity, he can perfectly contemplate the alternate reality where Brimstone is, and he's perfectly sane, and he's a nice guy. He's a good friend of Brimstone, and there's going to be a lot of really great character, relationships there. You're going to learn all about Mr. Hostile in our first series, and I think people are really going to like this character.
Hostile was actually based on a very close friend of ours. The look, the design, and the mental capacity.
Luckily, I can say that the mutual friend of ours isn't as crazy, close, but not as crazy that we know of. So it's really cool to write a character like Mr. Hostile. But of course, writing a bad guy is always so much more fun because you can always, let loose all those dark thoughts that you have that you can never, actually put into practice.